Hello and welcome to the official opening of Season 3 of I Love School Days. This is the show where we highlight brilliance and engage students in national conversation. This episode, you will meet some very dynamic students in the persons of Linda Lubin of Carmichael Primary School as the Bargain City Plaza Student of the Week. Likewise, Jeremy Gray of Thelma Gibson Primary School as the Scotiabank Student of the Week. And last, but definitely not least, your very own Keith Burrows of 12R as the Vitamalt Student of the Week. Now, this episode is dedicated to C.I. Gibson. This school has managed to move from an institution riddled with gang violence and graffiti to one that's setting the pace in academics and athletics, including basketball. I Love School Days has conducted a study to show exactly what it took to move from a bad school to the new C.I. Gibson Senior High School. Now we're going to take a short break, but before we do, here's an inside look, a play-by-play of the genius behind what it took to create the revamped C.I. Gibson. We'll be right back.
C.I. Gibson, like many other institutions in the country, had its challenges. However, the challenges of the past was not my focus. My mandate was progression towards the future. And so what I did was I built on what I found here and added some initiatives and programs that would take the school to the next level.
Well, I think any administrator and any teacher would know that you really can't get anything done in the classroom without discipline. Classroom management is critical in learning, period. So I can have all of the statistics and data that you would want, but I can tell you all that will go for naught if you can't have an environment in the classroom where learning can take place. So discipline is extremely important. In that regard, the self-discipline initiative has proven to be effective because students understand the consequences of their behavior.
Well, to be honest, what I'm excited about most at C.I. Gibson is we actually use a team effort in terms of the counseling that we use towards the students. So on any given day, you can actually have a conference going on with an administrator, with parents involved, with social workers involved, with the child as well as a guidance counselor. We don't do the one-sided, isolated kind of counseling. It's a team effort.
Well, in the past, we had a problem in terms of graffiti. These graffiti did not only occur with our students. We had problems where persons outside of the school would have come in and vandalize or place graffiti over the place. But we didn't stop there. We cleaned it up.
One of the things that I truly believe that if children are not actively engaged, it causes them to become quote unquote a nuisance. It causes them to become idle. One of the things that we are doing at C.I. Gibson, we are engaging the children in so many different activities that there is no time left for them to want to do mischief or get involved in things that will cause a problem. So I think that is what has contributed to the new C.I. Gibson, the new culture that we have here at C.I. Gibson.
I would love for public support. There are a lot of initiatives that government, Ministry of Education is unable to fund, and we have a real thing going here with technology. We're enhancing teachers' work ethics through technology. Students are being encouraged who are not a part of the business program here at the school to avail themselves to technology. The public can also assist us by coming in and mentoring our young men in particular. They need mentorship. A lot of them come from homes where there may not be that role model that is necessary.
Clean clothes for the family. Uniforms for the baby, suit for mommy and daddy. We want you to press discipline, if you wanna look fly and you wanna look clean, if you wanna look fresh, better than all the rest. Bring on your church clothes and all your work clothes. Bring on your children's clothes. Super wash.
Wherever in the Bahamas you go, they use Mahatma, you know. And Bahama to Abaco, only Mahatma. They say only Mahatma in Emily, say only Mahatma in Nassau. They say only Mahatma on Long Island, only Mahatma right, only Mahatma right. All over the Bahamas, only Mahatma.
Welcome back to I Love School Days, the show where we highlight brilliance and engage students in national conversation. Now, if you haven't noticed, C.I. Gibson has managed to elude the negative media and increase its visibility in the academic and athletic arenas. We're going to talk to some of the students that are making waves and revamping C.I. Gibson in the persons of the debate team, starting with Tisha Moxie of 10R, Letitia Roberts of 11B, and Yolanda Christoph of 12A. Now, ladies, thank you for being on the show. Let's have a seat. Okay, so Miss Christoph, you're a 12th grader. This self-discipline culture, what's the first thing that came to mind when you first heard it?
The first thing that came to mind was that these disobedient children would not comply because they are so disobedient. They walk around and behave rudely to older persons. How would this self-discipline culture get in the midst of them? And then as the principal started to have assembly each week and she drilled it in us, every week she would give us a new word and we would have to reply back to her. And she drilled us every assembly, and now look what has happened, a total transformation.
When I first heard self-discipline, I was like, what? Self-discipline? No one can conduct themselves. Then, I just started, they started developing. Miss Williams drilled us. She teaches us how to be respectful. She teaches us how to be honest. She helped us in many ways.
When I hear self-discipline, it's just how I see it. It's all about being non-hypocritical. You have to act the same way all the time, not just when someone's supervising you. It's about how you conduct yourself behind closed doors.
Now, Yolanda, you're a 12th grader, so you've been here for about 3 years. Tell us about the difference with C.I. Gibson when you came in grade 10 and now.
Wow, when I came here, C.I. Gibson it was a scary experience, to be truthful. The children were taller than me, there were always fights, and students would just pick on you for no particular reason. And now, you walk around and there's children studying, children bombarding the teachers and asking them things, and everyone is just a quiet atmosphere and a learning atmosphere.
Okay, now the debate team, you're doing some big things. Where are you now in the national debate arena?
We made it to the quarterfinals, but we got kicked out by Abaco.
That sucks.
Yeah.
And Abaco, and which other school was your major competitors for your major?
Doris Johnson, definitely.
Okay, so in the competition with Doris Johnson, what can they expect from you next year?
Expect a lot. Because when we come back, we're coming back strong.
We could beat them again. Twice again.
Now, the topics that you would have discussed were, give us an example of one of those.
Be it resolved that parents should be held morally
and morally responsible for their child's actions.
Okay, so what's your position on that?
We bring the proposition.
Okay, so state your case on that.
Our basic case was when you are born, the basic person who you be with is your parents. You don't be socializing with your peers, so they're not really influence you at that age. So your parents will instill with the values of right and wrong. So basically, if your parents do not instill the thing of right and wrong, you're saying to be a productive citizen of the Bahamas.
Ms. Roberts.
I totally agree. I totally disagree, actually, because I think that every child has their own opinion. They have their own decision. They make their own choices in life. You can't expect your parents to be following you every step of the way. So basically, I disagree with them.
Well, I disagree with Letitia because when a child is born, the parents are the first person to set values for the child. So if the child is doing something wrong at that age, the parent should be there to spank them and tell them and correct them and tell them it's wrong. And when they grow, that same habit will stick with them, so they know right from wrong.
Ms. Christoph, you had the last say. It's been a pleasure interviewing all three of you, and we definitely look forward to being here once again. We're going to take a short break, but first, here's the Scotiabank Student of the Week, Jeremy Gray. We'll be right back.
Jeremy is a student of high intellect. He's very creative. He's very innovative. In fact, he is the role model for all of the students here at Thelma Gibson, one whom the others should try to emulate at all times.
Jeremy is a good experience because he shows good examples. He shows like what's right from wrong. He knows how to conduct himself. He's a good-mannered young man.
Jeremy at home is a very manly young man. He's a godsend. And I've never had any trouble with Jeremy. He's never idle. He always finds something constructive to do, either on computer or he watches the TV, or he's in his Bible or doing Bible study. He's never idle.
Jeremy, I think, is a straight A student. He's very intelligent. Overall, I think he speaks very good. He's a visual learner. He would have to look at stuff to learn about it. That's about it.
Okay, Jeremy is the last child of myself, Melvin, and Ricardo Gray. He's our very last child out of 5 children. He's a very gifted child, very smart. We are very proud of him.
The first time I met Jeremy was in grade 1 playing on the field. We met each other, we played around for a bit. Then we went in class, grade 1T. And then we started drawing. We always had a passion for drawing. And then from there on, we grew up together. In every grade, we used to be in the same class. And for every grade, up to now.
I think of myself as a very caring, friendly person who cares for all those who care for me. All my friends treat me with respect because they treat me with respect. As I say, treat others the way you want them to treat you. This rule is very important to me, and I have to keep it for the rest of my life.
At Scotiabank, we offer a number of borrowing solutions to make home ownership work for you. It all starts with a conversation. For the right mortgage advice, come in and talk to us. Scotiabank, discover what's possible.
Welcome back to I Love School Days, the show where we highlight brilliance and engage students in national conversation. We're continuing our discussion with CI Gibson students, and we have the top BGCSE students of CI Gibson. Paige Roll of 12O. Please give her a round of applause. Crystal Liberal of 12O also. And Regine Dames of 12O. Now, ladies, I'm very fascinated by this self-discipline culture that everybody has been perpetuating at CI Gibson. Head girl, the first time you heard that theme, that culture, self-discipline, what came to mind?
When I first heard the word self-discipline, I thought about the root word discipline. I thought it was hard work, determination, being able to reach your destination. And I thought it was about being realistic about yourself, being positive.
Even before you came to CI Gibson, I'm pretty sure you heard about CI Gibson in junior high school. What did you hear?
I heard a lot of bad news for the first. It was like CI Gibson was being downgraded. They fights, violence, that's all I heard about CI Gibson.
But now I think we're climbing up the ladder and we're making it there to be successful. And that's how I think we are improving.
Now let's talk about the BGCSE. Let's start with you, Crystal. Let's talk about the BGCSE. What motivated you